I don't think they could be funny.
I know.
Is that racist? I don't know. Like I feel like. Welcome back, everyone. Young and old and new listeners as well. So if you are new here, I'm Jim.
And I'm Steve.
And our podcast is Inappropriate with Jim and Steve.
We should probably be like inappropriate together.
Like in sync?
Yeah, like in sync. I think that would probably make it worse, but...
So say Inappropriate with Jim and Steve in sync?
I don't know. It doesn't sound stupid.
Go ahead, give it a shot. 1, 2, 3.
Inappropriate with Jim and Steve. God. You feel less of a man after you say that. After we said that together,
it felt gay.
It's like accidentally touching each other's hands while we're walking.
We vow to never do that again.
Yeah, we're never going to do that again. It's worth a shot. Happy summer, everybody.
It's hot outside. Like you walk outside, it's just
good.
Warm.
Yes.
We have so much to cover, Steve. I don't know if we can pack it all in, but so right out of the gate, tell them what you got.
Well, I have a woman who has some odd demands if you want to procreate with her. And a comedian says something that he probably shouldn't have, and there were receipts. Is that how people use it? There were receipts.
Yeah, receipts is like proof, I guess.
Oh, well, then never mind. There was retribution to be had. I thought receipts were like payback.
I think it's more like, you did me wrong, and here's my proof.
God,
here's the receipts.
I have no idea how lingo works anymore. So I hate that, like, music's passed me by. This is now words are passing me by. I don't understand.
That's why we do a podcast.
Yeah, I know. To just
the next thing in line.
To make myself seem important.
Speaking of important, I went to Woodstock 99. I think I've said it.
Yes, you have.
A billion times.
You can't miss it coming to the studio.
Yes. So I have a huge section of the wall that I tore down, and I framed it, and there's a whole story behind that. And speaking of the story, when I was there, I recorded everything on my handheld video camera. Like everything else that you record, you just forget about it. I threw it in a box. I moved again, and again. So I never even thought that I didn't even remember that I've recorded anything.
Mm.
When I was actually building the studio and I had to move everything from one side to the other, my area that I store everything in is smaller. So then I had to start going through boxes and condense everything because get rid of some shit. Well, then I found a box and a box and a box. And in that box was a bunch of tapes. Like not VHS, but the little
they look
ones.
Like cassette tapes?
Yes. That you would actually put in the camera.
Yeah.
When I saw them, I was like, I think these are from Woodstock. I didn't really use the camera that much, other than like a couple house parties and some raves and things. So I had a pretty good idea. So I figured out, I got this like converter from, analog to digital, and I started uploading on my laptop.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to do with them. So I was like, I'm just going to keep them on my computer. And then I was like, well, I'm going to lose. The computer's has a shelf life at one point, and then then they're going to be gone again. So I was like, fuck it.
When the FBI comes and seizes your...
Right. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to start a YouTube channel, and I'll put them on, and I was going to keep it private just so I could dump them on there. So I don't know if I ever fucking wanted to watch them again or whatever. So at least they were there. And then I stumbled across this Facebook group called Woodstock 99. And it's active every single day. There's like thousands and thousands of people, and they still talk about it today. And I was like, maybe these people will dig it. So I made the first one unprivate, created like a little thumbnail and shit.
Yeah, it's good because you broke it out into like the band, like
yes,
and I think that's a good.
So I didn't think anybody would give a shit about watching my home movies, of the Woodstock. So I broke them up of us, whatever we were doing in like 10, 15-minute increments.
Yeah.
And then whatever the concert was, whether it was Korn, Limp Bizkit, Metallica, and I just separated those concerts.
Yeah.
So I uploaded the first one, and the first one was just like us driving there. This is called, I think, Road Trip or whatever. Mm-hmm. And like, it kind of blew up a little bit, and people were like, "Oh, thank you for uploading this. This is so cool. And then I uploaded like the first, I forget what, I think it was like Jamiroquai.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, I never saw footage from the concert. And like people are like messaging me. And then I was like, holy shit, like people actually like still like yearn for this footage.
I know.
Because everything has been, I guess, more professionally made. Because back then you didn't have cell phones. Yeah. So if you wanted to record, you had to lug this fucking thing around. And not many people were willing to.
And especially for how insane Woodstock was. Yes. Like that was a big commitment on you. It inhibited the fun you could have.
To a degree, yeah. So anyway, if you were interested in seeing it, I guess I'll put it in the description. But the YouTube page is called "The Parties That Made Us."
There's a good video, a house party in 2002, I think, in there, and I watched it last night, and seeing Schaefer so young made me laugh, and then you spinning records didn't make me laugh. That's a good one to watch on that.
So along with the Woodstock, there's a couple raves that I went to that I filmed, and then there's a couple random house parties.
Yeah.
The Parties That Made Us, check it out. When I was commenting on that Woodstock 99, somebody said, you got to go on this podcast and talk about it. So somehow I got in touch with the owner of the podcast. It's called Podcast 99. And we set it up, and he interviewed me for like an hour and 45 minutes. It was like a Joe Rogan style podcast. That's my spiel. And
I can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah, it should be good. And I got to promote this podcast.
Yes.
If you're listening to this podcast from the
Woodstock 99.
Yeah, the Podcast 99 crowd, welcome.
And thanks.
And Steve, I got something for you. So I was at the liquor store the other day, and I saw this, and I thought, man, why would anybody ever buy this?
I always love things that start like that.
I was intrigued.
Uh-huh.
So the wife said, well, why don't you get some, and then you could do something on the podcast. Like make it. I was like, yeah, okay. So I have something I want to do. Let me take my headphones off and go grab it. I have them in our Inappropriate with Jim and Steve koozies, but don't really look at it, because you could probably decipher what it might be.
I'll cover I'll look away. I'll look at all these.
I'll go to the studio refrigerator.
Yes, the studio refrigerator. Right now I'm looking at ham floating in a river.
Rum ham.
Rum ham. All right. Try not to look at it.
All right, so we can both just kind of crank these open.
All right.
And then just sip on it and just give me your first reactions.
All right, I'm going completely in the dark. It's weird.
It's very conflicting flavors.
Yeah, I don't know what I just drank. Like at first I thought it was a seltzer.
Right.
But I'm not sure if it's a seltzer. Then it kind of tastes like fruit.
Yep.
I don't know.
Do you like it? Do you hate it? Or do you not?
I can't tell if I like it or hate it.
I was the same exact way.
Yeah, I cannot tell if I like it or not. It's not bad. I will say that. It's not bad. But I don't know what it is. I have no guess.
Okay. Go ahead and...
All right. This is... If I can get it out of the koozie. Dude, it does taste like peach. It's Busch Light peach. That is the weirdest thing in the entire world.
I saw it and I thought, that's going to taste like shit. And when I cracked it open, I was surprised that it did the same thing you did. I'm like, I don't hate this, and I don't know if I like it or if I just don't hate it.
Do you know, now that I know what it is,
it tastes better.
It tastes better. Yeah.
So if you are... Now, the reason I got it, because the owner of the liquor store said they only make this for 1 month.
It says limited edition.
It's a limited edition for the summer. Now, last year, you may have seen, I think they did apple.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, for the summer, for 1 month only, they do this Busch Light peach.
It is not bad at all.
Yeah.
Knowing what it is now, I like it more. And
it's smooth.
Yeah.
Like for a Busch Light. I mean,
yeah.
So... I don't know, if you're out and you want to try something new. This is not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah.
Busch Light has not given me a fuck all for a penny.
I know. It's worth a shot to drink, especially since it's limited edition. People love things that are limited, I guess.
Yeah, and if you are going to a party and you're not a big talker, bring this, and it's instant conversation.
Yeah, everybody will say, "What are you drinking? Is that a seltzer?" No, it's a Busch. It's a Busch Light Peach.
So I got the 6-pack, and the owner.
How much was a 6-pack? $7.99.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was on the cheaper end of 6-packs.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I think like a 6-pack of it normally is like $4.99.
Yeah, it was like one of the cheaper things in the and the owner was trying to sell me an 18-pack. I'm like, whoa, let's pump the brakes. Like I don't even know if I like it. He's like, only 1 month.
It's another reason that summer is awesome.
Yes,
because the drinks are lighter. It's because always winter stuff. It's always like fucking dark and heavy,
right?
And then summer's just like we're gonna put some fruit in normal shit and just you're gonna like it because
call
it's
it
the
a
summer.
fucking day. Go play some volleyball.
Yeah.
If you drink too much beer, you might hook up with someone and end up impregnating them if you're not safe.
You better be careful because people are fucking weird. I have a story about a woman who reveals her pregnancy non-negotiables for when she decides to procreate.
Okay.
All right.
And these would be rules not for her, but for the potential mate.
For the potential mate.
Okay.
So real quick, I'm going to show you her picture.
If I saw her walking down the street, I would say she's an attractive brunette, brown eyes, probably has a bit of maybe Spanish.
Yes. That's where I was thinking too.
It's only from like half chest up. She looks expensive. Your typical Instagram model, I would say.
Yes.
Very manicured eyebrows.
So her name is Nora Tala. She refuses to have a baby with someone who cannot meet these demands. She wouldn't want to work from maternity to nursing age.
3 years, basically.
Yep. And she wants to go on a luxury baby moon. Do you know what a baby moon is?
It's going to piss me off because I think
baby moon is a vacation you go on prior to having the baby. So it's kind of like a honeymoon. It's called a baby moon.
But while pregnant.
Okay. Yes. She wants to go with her partner and relax to get into the frame of mind before giving birth. Okay. And she would like a push present from her partner. Do you know what a push present is?
I'm going to say there's a gift after she pushes the kid out.
Yes. But now the value of that gift needs to be at least $1,000. And
isn't the gift the kid? I just gave you the gift of life. Yeah.
It takes two to make this thing. Even though the woman does all the creating and the pushing. But so the gift needs to be at least $1,000. And she suggests that it could be a designer handbag or a pair of shoes.
And that alone, she's not ready to be a mom.
Well, that's not it. That's not all. She would demand a private room for her post-pregnancy care in a hospital and wants to own a 3-bed house in London and the surrounding counties to bring her baby home to.
Well, I think, don't you always get a private room? I mean, we had a private room.
Yeah, I don't think that's too.
So she doesn't know she doesn't even know what she's talking about.
Yeah, she's not from the U.S., so I don't know exactly.
Just birth them out in a field.
I don't know, but you also have to buy her multiple houses, so she has to have a 3-bedroom house in London, and other surrounding counties to bring her baby home to.
Multiple houses?
Yeah, she has to have multiple houses. Her partner attends all baby classes. And for her to abstain from anything she can't do while she is pregnant.
If you agree to that, will be everything. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything she
so
just
I guess
doesn't
you're not
feel
drinking,
like
you're not smoking, you're not running a marathon. And then the man has to pay for her post-pregnancy personal trainer and meal subscription service so she can get back into shape.
And then also not cook while she's a stay-at-home mom.
It's got to be.
I mean, what else is she doing? I mean, it's taking care of a baby is a lot. But like if you're a stay-at-home mom, you probably, with the exception maybe the first, let's say 2 months, because then it gets, it's a little bit insane, but you should work it out. You can't cook. Like, what else are you doing?
I know. And she says that
she has time to work out.
Yeah, she wouldn't want to date she wouldn't want to date anyone that couldn't give her this life. It makes me dislike her. The instant I read it, I was just like, what the fuck is this woman even thinking about?
You know what she reminds me of? The female version of, we had that question, I don't know, I forget, maybe a couple episodes ago, where the husband demanded sex every day.
Yes.
It sounds like the female version of that. And he was dangling the carrot of marriage. So she is a gold digger.
Yes.
I mean, and she's disguising it with the cloak of, I have high standards.
Yeah.
I saw something today, actually, that kind of bounces off of that. And it was this very average looking woman. And she was saying along the lines of that, but it was more superficial. I mean, more superficial than that. Her requirements are a man who's 6'3" or higher, or 6'3" or taller. He must work in finance. He must have blue eyes, be single, and have a net worth of over $1 million. Okay. So that was like, to get with her, that was her ideal guy.
Yeah.
So somebody broke it down with how many men are in the United States, how many men over 18, how many men work in finance, how many of those men would be over 6'2" or 6'3" or whatever it was, how many men would have a net worth, have blue eyes, and you know how many men in the United States that was?
I have no idea.
2. 2 men in the United States fit her exact description.
That's so funny. 2 people.
You're narrowing your entire search.
I know.
To like unobtainable.
Yeah, there's like
terms.
What, 500 million people in the United States, and you have fucking narrowed it down to 2.
And she wasn't even a woman that you would do a double take if if she walked into like the room. It wasn't, I just think certain people, for whatever reason, that they are a high value woman. I hear that fucking term, a high value man. And they're just not. They're just run-of-the-mill people.
I know. They're drinking Busch Light Peach.
Right. Moving on from her to somebody else who you probably don't want to be friends with.
All right.
So have you ever like hung around your friends and maybe jokingly said something that you probably, push come to shove, would not end up doing? Like you're bullshitting.
Yeah, right. Of course. My whole life is bullshit.
Shock value and bullshit.
Yeah.
Him and his friends were joking around one time earlier, and I guess the conversation came up. Would you ever try human flesh or human meat if you could do it in a safe, humane way? And all his friends, I guess jokingly or in serious, or thought they would never be confronted with that actual scenario, would say, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So would you, if you could do it in a humane way, eat human flesh?
No, I couldn't do it. I feel like it would take. Now, if it was like Alive, like that movie where the guys, remember that,
like Fresh?
No. The movie Alive, where the plane crashes and they're frozen, and
it was either eat that or die. Okay,
I would say yes there.
So
how about you?
No, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
So this gentleman posed that question to his friends. About a year or so later, he had to get his foot amputated. And somehow he convinced the doctors to let him keep it. Like keep his foot.
I guess it's your foot.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they let you keep your foot?
Yeah. So he invited all his friends over and didn't tell them. And he cooked up his foot. He cooked his foot. And he chopped it all up.
That's so gross.
And served them flesh tacos.
Oh, that's so gross. Did he tell them what it was before they ate it?
Right before.
Really?
So right before they went to sit down, he told them.
That's fucking shock value.
Like, hey, this is, remember that time?
You guys said humanely.
Here we go. And he told him that he cooked up his foot.
How do I taste?
Glad you said that. Because this is a quote from him. I taste like buffalo, but chewier. Super beefy and a little fatty.
I would feel weird because you got your foot amputated. Aside from the fact that you're eating a human foot, that's in and of itself gross. But they had to amputate your foot for a reason.
Out of all the people that he invited over, one friend backed out.
Holy shit, really?
So I don't know how many he had, but I would say at least a few partook. Is that partook or partaked?
Yeah.
Or ate his foot.
All but one.
All but one.
There's some ride or dies right there.
Yeah. His foot was amputated following a motorcycle accident.
Okay. So if you're going to eat a foot, that's the best kind of foot to eat, I guess.
Shredded from a motorcycle accident?
Yeah. It's already been tenderized.
He originally wanted to have it taxidermied or freeze-dried. But ultimately, he didn't think that these options were feasible, so he decided, you know what, I'm going to just marinate this overnight.
Gosh.
And saute it with onions, peppers, salt, pepper, and a little bit of lime juice. And then he served it over corn tortillas with tomatillo sauce.
Tomatillo sauce?
Tomatillo sauce.
So I guess he did like make a concerted effort to make it as pleasing as possible. Yeah. So it probably looked good, I guess.
Yeah. I tell you what, as funny as that is, not having to really live that scenario, I think I'd be super pissed.
I would be pissed. What, if you didn't get told you were going to eat?
Yeah, like, hey, we're going over Steve's house for dinner.
Yeah.
And like, everyone's like, yeah, he got his foot amputated. So like, I'm not saying people would show up as a pity party.
Yeah.
But he just went through some shit.
Yeah.
So
Let's go.
Like this
out.
takes precedence over whatever else that maybe we'll have planned. So let's go. Let's all join Steve in he's going to cook us dinner.
Yeah.
And then
hobble around and make some fajitas.
It's probably going to take extra long, because you can't get from one side to the other or what have you.
Now, if I was as crazy as this guy to go through all this and do that, honestly, I wouldn't tell you guys.
You would just cook us some fucking human meat?
I'd be like, here's some tacos.
Fucking, who are you, Jeffrey Dahmer?
I'd say, here's some tacos, and let everybody eat it. And people would be like, man, this is really good. This tomatillo sauce it's really good.
Is this venison?
What kind of meat is this?
This is duck.
I would be like, funny you should ask. You're eating me, bitches.
Got my foot in your mouth.
That's what you get, motherfucker. If these people are still his friends,
then they must have a sense of humor.
I know. He's definitely a fucking comedian. I'll tell you.
Speaking of comedians, let's take a quick commercial break for our one and only sponsor, Mr. Dave Hill.
Oh, hey, it's Dave from before. Dave Hill from Show Business. Dave Hill here to remind you that you should totally listen to Inappropriate with Jim and Steve. It's an incredible podcast. Actually, you're probably listening to it right now because I'm guessing that's where you're hearing this. I'm Dave Hill, and even though I haven't really actually listened to Inappropriate with Jim and Steve, I've no doubt that it's incredible. And probably the reason I've hesitated to listen is because I don't even know, honestly, if I could handle it. I did watch a YouTube video, and I found them to be very handsome men with exceptional hair and soft skin, gentle to the touch. Anyway, sorry, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Anyway, I'm Dave Hill. Follow me on social medias at Mr. Dave Hill, at Mr. Dave Hill. All right, I'm gonna go take a good hard look in the mirror. Oh gosh.
Dave Hill's one funny guy. I have a story about a comedian that it's pretty fucked up, but it made me laugh. It made me chuckle.
Now, is this a well-known comedian or a guy on the up and up? Come up.
If you are in Spain, maybe.
Oh.
Are they called Spanish? Yeah, I guess they're.
You know what's weird? When I think of comedians in another language, I don't I don't think they could be funny.
I know.
Is that racist? I don't know. Like I feel like if I went to like, are there any actual French comedians?
Oh, oui, oui. And everybody starts fucking laughing. This comedian, who's Spanish and he's in Madrid, he made a joke that kind of came back to bite him. The comedian, his name is Jamie Carvaca, was in the middle of his set in Madrid the other night when enraged dad Alberto Pilato abruptly stormed the stage and pummeled him in the head.
An enraged dad. That's a weird way to describe a guy in the audience.
Yes.
Was his kid there?
So,
okay.
The story
I was
is...
gonna say, like, there's got to be something to that.
So the person that did the pummeling...
Okay.
He posted a picture on X of his 3-month-old son and titled it Pride and Joy.
Okay.
Had a picture of him and his son.
As most people would do.
Yes. Somehow he posted this and the comedian saw it.
Before the show.
Before the show. Yeah.
Okay.
He saw the picture and wrote, "Nothing and no one can prevent the possibility that he's probably gay. And when he grows up, he's going to get tired of sucking black cock."
Jesus Christ. My God, it's
so fucking wrong.
Jeez. Yeah. There's some things you don't talk about, and that's someone's kid. Like, especially
it's a baby.
A newborn kid.
Yes.
On a post.
Yes.
Just about being gay and sucking a bunch of black dick.
Yeah.
You gotta, that was personal. Like,
yeah. So the dad replied back and said, "I assure you that you are going to apologize for what you said about my 3-month-old son, and you will discover that real life is not Twitter."
Oh, beautiful. The dad wasn't probably going to a show initially.
No.
So somehow he saw it. Are they friends, loose friends? Somehow he saw it, commented, and then the dad looked up his show and was like, "I'm
saw
fucking
that he's in
going."
Madrid. Yeah. So the dad goes to the show and jumps up on stage in the middle of this guy's set.
So he let him go on for a minute.
Yeah, and then just starts beating the ever-loving shit out of him. And while he's beating the shit out of him, he keeps yelling, "Do you think my son's gonna eat a black dick at 3 months old?" And keeps pummeling him.
Oh man.
And then he keeps yelling, "Now what? Tell me to my face he's gonna suck black." And just keeps fucking pummeling this dude.
I didn't know if this story was going to have a happy ending, and it does. There's just too many people on the internet that just think that they can say whatever they want with zero consequences.
It definitely proves that you have to, like, shit can come back to bite you.
You're living in the real world, but all these fucking assholes that sit in their rooms, in their bedrooms, in their house. There's nobody around. All they see is this tiny little screen, and they just type and they say they troll and they whatever, and then they turn their phone off and in their mind it goes away, right? But they fail to realize that there is a generation that if you want to talk shit, you got to talk shit to them. And and then shit can go down.
Yeah.
Maybe
someone could drive to your fucking show and then just beat the shit out of you.
Right.
Now, I will say after the show was over, the comedian issued an apology.
Damn right he did.
And the father wrote back, "Your apology has been accepted."
and that's what, hey, that's how you do it. Yeah. Sometimes it takes an ass whooping for you to realize, hey, words have consequences.
Yeah, as he was getting the shit kicked out of him, he just probably was like,
I should have deleted that tweet.
That tweet was not fucking the right thing to say.
I think people have gone too long without getting punched in the face.
Yeah, I actually, when I read it, I was like, you know what? I'm on the side of the dad.
100%.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, he kind of crossed the line. You know what else is funny too when you think about it? If you look at the tweet, it's all in Spanish, so it wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be because it was in a different language. But even in different languages, different countries throughout the world, the idea of a black Still, like, there's a level.
What's the intern? What is the Spanish word for cock?
La Pola?
Negro la pola?
Oh, so good. Negro Pola.
Oh, man. I think we got to end it on that.
Yeah. That's, you can't top that.
Hopefully, we don't get canceled.
Well, guess what?
Save me a lot of goddamn time.
Yeah, I know.
So thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with us.
Thank you to our sponsor.
Thank you to our sponsor, Mr. Dave Hill. Go follow him on Instagram, and then go over there while you're on Instagram. Follow us. Share the podcast, give us a rating, and come back next week. And call us on our new number. I'm going to tell you this number one time, and you're going to remember it forever. So if you ever need of anything, just call us.
Yeah, just let us know.
803-903-CALL.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's about as easy as you can get.
803-903-CALL. And I came up with another thing, Steve, before we close out the show. Of course, we want people to call us if you have questions, anything crazy off the wall, a statement, you just want to put it on air, you have a question you want us to figure out for you. I'm going to add one more layer to that. If you want us to deliver bad news.
Oh, we are so good at delivering bad news.
If you have bad news that you want to deliver to anyone for any reason, and you just, for whatever reason you haven't been able to either muster the guts, or you just haven't got around to delivering the bad news, call us at 803-903-CALL. Give us the details, and we will call that person and deliver the bad news for you.
Yep, we'll take that burden off your shoulders.
Did you see your buddy's girlfriend hugging on some other dude? You haven't figured out a way to tell your buddy yet? Call us.
Did you cheat on your girlfriend, or did you cheat on your boyfriend, and you just want to find that nice way to let them know?
Just to get it off your chest.
Yeah, let us be that olive branch.
So we are testing that out. Give us somebody to call. Give us a call. Let us know. Leave us a voicemail, and we will get into it.
Phil will tell Christy anything you want.
All right, guys. For Inappropriate, I am Jim.
I am Steve.
And we will hopefully see you next week.
Bye.
Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me. You can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't lock me. You can't lock me down. I will not lay down my arms. Ready to be covered.
Yeah. But like when they talk, when they like deliver, like if it was, yeah. There's, but like when they talk, when they like deliver, like if it was.